there was a vision where I saw people running. I saw two people running, and they were running through an alleyway, and they were trying to get away from a horde of zombies, the undead. And well, I call them demonically possessed people. So they were running through the alleyway. They were running and screaming, and they were running as fast as they could. But the zombies were running faster than them. And unfortunately, the first person that they caught was a man. And as they were getting closer to him, they were laughing. I could hear laughter from these things. And then as they got closer to him, they jumped on top of him. One of them bit the man in the neck. The other one bit the man in the thigh, and they were just tearing him. And the man was screaming. And then the other person that was running was another man. And as he ran, he tried to jump a chain link fence. He tried to jump the fence, and he couldn't make it. And they grabbed him and pulled him down, and also ripped him apart. And in my vision, I remember turning and closing my eyes because I didn't want to see. And I started calling on the name of the Lord. And these demonic entities were running around everywhere. They were everywhere during the tribulation. And it wasn't just these zombies, okay? There were other creatures running around. There were things that looked like they were mutated. There were all sorts of demonic creatures running around. And if you go to the book of Revelation, it talks about the bottomless pit being opened up. And things coming out of the bottomless pit. And you have to understand that this is God's wrath upon the wicked. This is God's wrath upon a nation, upon a people that don't turn to him. The tribulation is not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be what people think it is. It's not going to be you're going to be surviving and you're going to be okay. No, you're going to be hunted down. And if it's not you battling some demonic force, okay, these demons that are going to be unleashed from the bottomless pit, you're going to be fighting against other people who are going to be left here, who are going to go insane. And they are also going to hunt you, because I've seen that in my dreams. I've seen women running. I've seen men running from each other. There was danger. Everywhere that you turned, there was danger. There was not a safe place to be found. I just want to read a scripture to you. Amos 5 says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?" You have to understand that these things that are coming are not going to be what you expect. Jesus said that these days, the tribulation, will be the worst time in human history. And here in Amos 5, it says that it will be as a man running away from a lion. And then you think you're getting away from a lion, and you bump into a bear that will rip you to shreds. Or you go into your house and you think that you're safe, and you put your hand up against the wall and a serpent bites your hand. This is what it's going to be during the tribulation. This is what I've been seeing in my dreams, seeing in my visions. This is what the Lord has allowed me to see. The Lord has allowed me to see it. It's going to be a terrible, terrible time, because you're not just fighting against flesh and blood. You're not fighting against humans. There are going to be things that are going to be unleashed. Demonic forces are going to be unleashed. I want to remind you of this scripture in the Bible. Revelation chapter 9, verse 13 says, "And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which stand before God, saying to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, Loose the four angels who are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, who had been prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, to slay a third part of men." They are going to slay. Slay means to kill a third part of men. It says it there in Revelation 9. It says here, "And they had a king over them, the angel of the bottomless pit, which is hell, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue, his name is Apollyon." There is something coming, and people need to be prepared. People need to be prepared. This is not a time to sleep. That is not a time to play around with your salvation. This is not a time to see if you have another day. This is not a time to be out in the world, to live worldly. This is a time to follow the Lord. This is a time to live in holiness, to seek the Lord, to walk in righteousness.